Do you want to know how you can earn up to 60 cents per message you send by becoming a Chatdesk expert? Then this video is for you. My name is Michael and I love testing different ways to make money online, and many viewers have asked me about Chatdesk, so therefore I decided to take a closer look, and in this video I will show you both the pros and the cons of becoming a Chatdesk expert in my opinion, and then you can decide for yourself whether this is the right opportunity for you or not. So let me just start by clarifying that to get these Chatdesk expert jobs, you cannot just go to the main website. You have to go to this expert sign up, because to earn, you need to become what they call an expert. The Chatdesk or the main website are for people that are looking to hire people for these support jobs. But if you want to earn, you need to go to the Chatdesk expert section there. And let me also just make it clear right away that this is not necessarily for everyone. First of all, they mainly accept applicants from the US, but also at times from other English-speaking countries. But you also need to be aware that they do not always accept new applications, because if they have enough experts for the amount of clients they currently have, then they do not accept anymore. That is actually quite good, because if you become an expert, you also want to make sure that there is enough work for you to actually earn. But let's now talk a little bit more about what you would actually be doing, how it works, the earning potential and all that, so you can figure out if you should go for this opportunity or not. So what you would become is a customer agent for Chatdesk's clients. And this can be, for example, to reply to emails. You can see SMS, chat, social media, depending on what the client needs. But that also means that you do need to have certain qualifications. First of all, you do need to be 18 years old or older. You need to also have some kind of understanding of tech, so you can use the software you need, or have an understanding of the different social media, all that, and also learn the platforms if there are any platforms you need to get more training about. Of course, pay attention to details. And then they also say that you need to be available to work 2 hours or more per day. So it does take some commitment. There are also some of the jobs, I'll talk about the different types of jobs. There are two main different type of jobs you can apply for. I will talk about the difference between those a little bit later there. Of course, you also need a great computer and a good and stable internet connection so they can rely on you. And let's now then talk about the two different type of jobs you can get. So you can become an on-demand expert or a dedicated expert. And these on-demand expert, that means that you can basically work whenever it fits you, while the dedicated experts, they work these shifts of 8 hours per day. But no matter what, you do need to pay attention to details, do a proper job. You need to go through the training and all that. Of course, the on-demand jobs are more flexible, but again, you are expected to work basically every day, where you just have more flexibility and it doesn't have to be that many hours. So if you become a dedicated expert, then it is basically a full-time job you are doing. And how much you can earn will depend on how effective you are. So let me just jump to my website where I can show you a little bit more information about this. So I'm now on the written review I have on my website. I'll also leave a link to that below if you want to go and check this out for yourself. And here there's also a video that goes more into the different earning potential there, because you can see you can earn 30 cents per ticket, meaning message you reply to, or SMS you reply to, or social media message, whatever it is. And then you also have even up to 60 cents per ticket. And sometimes that might not take long, other times it might take a little bit longer. But the difference is that the ones where you get 30 cents for, that is what they call tier 1 companies. So that means that you will just be using what they call the Chatdesk Teams voting platform. So that is the platform itself, whereas the 2 companies that requires, for example, you to address emails or companies' external ordering systems. So that's where in most cases that means that you would need to also access other systems than just Chatdesk's own platform, whereas the ones where you don't get that much, that is everything something that can be done inside Chatdesk itself. So that's the difference. And as you can see here, the earnings per ticket I think is quite decent. Of course, it depends how effective you are. It depends also on how complicated the tasks are. But overall, it is something that can potentially build up to become a full-time income. But it is not necessarily for you, because it does require quite a bit of effort effort and dedication, of course. So let's talk about what other options you potentially have. So as you can see, it definitely is possible to earn on Chatdesk, but it's not necessarily for all, because you do need to find it quite interesting to do something like this. And it can be a little bit stressful, because if you don't reply to messages, you won't earn. You will earn per message you reply to or per ticket you reply to. So that's just something to keep in mind. And of course, it does not give that much flexibility. Yes, you can become an on-demand expert, but you still have to commit to sit there quite often to earn, and especially if you become a dedicated, it's basically a full-time job. It still gives flexibility that do it from basically anywhere, and that definitely can be great. But if you're looking for even more freedom where you can work completely on your own terms, then what you potentially, for example, could do instead, or at the same time while you have this as an income, then you could build up your own freedom. For example, you actually own online business. That is what I have done, and something I definitely recommend, because then you can truly decide when and where you want to work. You can travel when you want to, you can be with your family when you want to. If this sounds like something that you are also interested in, then I'll leave a link below to more information I have about my top recommended method to do this step by step, and the exact method I have used. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you figure out if Chatdesk is for you or not, or what else you potentially can do. And if it did help you, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.